We're mad about science here at KC Live this morning, thanks to Science Pioneers. LeAnn Smith joins us this morning with more on motivating kids to study science. Now, this is not something new. This is something that you've been committed to for a long time. Tell us about Science Pioneers.
Well, Science Pioneers was founded in 1956 with the purpose of getting kids inspired and engaged in science. They've got opportunities in school, but the people at the time felt like they needed more opportunities.
Why don't they naturally go there? I feel like it's interesting to, like chemistry class to me was just so much fun and fascinating. Why do we need to encourage kids now to go into the science fields and get jobs in the future in the science field?
Well, we have a real shortage of STEM workers. There's about 3 million jobs unfilled right now, and that's going to grow by 17%. So, and unfortunately, they're really dominated by men. And so one of the things a lot of organizations are working to do is increase the number of women in STEM careers.
And you need to start young. You need to get women, young women, even girls, excited about science.
Even babies, actually. Babies are naturally curious, but we do a lot of gender-specific toys. So if we start getting young children involved and stimulated in science and engineering and building things, let them use their natural creativity, and then that will grow into more of a love of science and math and engineering.
There are moms and dads watching right now with their young children and saying, what do I do? What's the right path to take to make sure they do crave the learning and understanding about science?
Give them things to play with that challenge their creativity. Blocks that girls and boys can play with all the same stuff. Give them blocks to play with, things to take apart, things that they can engineer and redo and create. They do that naturally. And then as they get into school, don't discourage them from science and don't discourage them with math. A lot of us didn't do so well in math, and so we say, oh, well, don't worry about it. You can do something else. There's always a way to relearn it and make it real to you and make it very powerful language.
And how do we keep, especially those middle schoolers and high school young women who were kind of ahead of their class from becoming self-conscious and not wanting to be smart?
Well, that's one of the things Science Pioneers does, is we've got programs for young women to help them know that there are a lot of powerful women out in the industry, and so relying on mentors is really important as well, and empowering teachers. We do a lot of teacher professional development so that teachers can help teach the children these new subjects that they didn't really learn in school either.
Now, I love, we had so many young women file into our green room that were very excited. They're all excited to see each other.
Yes.
They seem like a very supportive group. So tell us about the young women that are part of Science Pioneers.
Well,
we're about to meet them, actually.
You are going to meet them very quickly. We had 3 grand award winners out of our 1,400 students in our Science and Engineering Fair in March.
Look at them
these
right there.
3 young women, yes, absolutely. Lexi, Andrea, and Erin won our grand award, which means that I got to take them to Pittsburgh to the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair a couple of weeks ago. Alexis won a 1st place, Andrea won a 3rd place. We took 3 young women, 2 of whom placed, and Erin's just a freshman, so we can take them all back next year to Phoenix or whoever wins the grand award, and it's a very exciting time for girls in STEM in Kansas City.
Well, congratulations to you for all of your hard work, and congratulations to them. Now, we have a link to the Science Pioneers website on our KSHB-TV later on today. All right, thank you for being here, but you're not going to go away because we want to introduce these ladies who are challenging Joel Nichols. He's a pretty smart guy. We're going to see how he fares in the science world. Some tough questions. Joel, are you ready?
No, I'm not ready because I still can't figure out number 3's name. So this is not a good start. Eureka! We have 3 high school science students with us this morning to put me to the test. We have Alexis, Erin, and Andrea, or Lexi, or what's the other name you call her?
A-Dog.
A-Dog. And they are here with a very special little science quiz that they're going to try to, this won't be hard, but they're going to try to stump me. And tell us a little bit, who wants to tell us about this international aspect of this wonderful competition?
Yeah, so the International Fair, it was held in Pittsburgh this year, and so we all got to go and showcase our research and compete against 1,700 other students, high school researchers from all over the world. So we got to talk to them, see their inspiring research, and then talk to judges about our projects and adults in the STEM field.
Look at that. Unbelievable. How fun was it to meet people from all over the world that share this great idea with you, the idea of science being so important?
Yeah, it was really inspiring, amazing research, and it's just so much fun. Yeah.
And you are the only 3 from our area that went there.
Yeah. Yes.
So how exciting for you?
It was an honor.
Yeah.
And what do you think, we were talking a little bit about it before, but where would you like your science education to take you? You have a kind of a specific idea.
Yes,
what would you like to do?
Ultimately, I'd like to go on to Stanford University, get my MD, PhD, and then I want to be a surgeon.
Okay, before you get there, Alexis, Lexi, or A-Dog, you have to decide on a name. Because it gets very confusing.
We'll go with Alexis.
Good one.
All right.
And then you 2 are kind of still looking for your science path.
Yeah.
I mean, we both know that we want to do something with science, but just exploring our options, seeing what's out there.
Okay, let's talk about the projects. Aaron, you go first. First of all, what school are you from?
I'm from Shawnee Mission West.
And tell me about your project.
Okay, so my project, I was originally trying to develop cocoa powder as a possible treatment method for cancer.
Okay.
But while doing so, I found that cocoa powder may actually cause cancer. So it was kind of a twist in the research.
Very interesting. So that's one thing that you discovered. What's your question for me? Okay, here we go. Here's the question.
Are you ready?
No, but go.
Okay, so what does your mother's hair dye,
Yeah.
your favorite artsy black and white photo,
Okay.
cigarette smoke, and chocolate all have in common?
I found them all in the backseat of my brother's car once. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. I'm going to, my legitimate guess would be there's probably something in each of them that's not good for us. I don't know about that.
That's actually correct. There's an organic compound known as perlegalal, which has been proven to damage DNA in animal models.
Really? Even in that black and white artsy picture?
Yeah, there's a photographic developing agent.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
See, because that one I kind of threw out. I just was focusing on the other ones and thinking, well, they all sound like something you have something bad in. Okay, tell us about your project.
Sure. So I wanted to see whether penguin colonies are developing dialects as they migrate due to climate change.
Right.
So I took different recordings of penguins, and then there's little sections within the calls.
Oh, neat.
And so I was taking different characteristics of the calls, like the frequency, the duration, and the loudness. And then I wrote a code in a statistical program to see how different they were from each other. And I actually found that colonies that are in different regions have different dialects and speak
Interesting,
different
kind of like
languages.
human beings have.
Exactly.
So what's your question for Mr. Wizard?
My question is, do you know what a penguin call sounds like?
Okay, I think it's something like this. Why is this tuxedo so tight? Is that it?
It's pretty close.
Okay, they're going to play it. You won't be able to hear it, but we'll hear it. Oh. It sounds like a donkey in a blender. Not something we were going. All right, Lexi, what was your project?
Okay, so patients with diabetes are more predisposed to cancer, but no one knows why.
Okay.
And so I'm studying a newly discovered gene and figuring out how it interacts with other genes to ultimately regulate the formation of tumors.
Interesting. That sounds very complicated.
It is.
Because she had chocolate and she had penguins. I thought I was in the ballpark. This sounds a little beyond me, but what's your question?
Okay, so what little critter do we find in our food, in our kitchen, that actually may hold the link to telling us the link between diabetes and cancer?
That we find in our kitchen? An ant. An ant?
The fruit fly.
The fruit fly. This fruit fly.
Yes.
And what could that tell us?
The wings of the fruit fly can actually tell us if cell and tissue growth is actually happening, and I can do this by interacting other different genes in the fruit fly, and then ultimately I can figure out how they work together to regulate the formation
So if you
of
see
tumors.
one in your kitchen, you should say, thanks, and then hit it. Then it's gone.
Yeah.
Because we just need their wings. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm totally embarrassed and totally impressed all at the same time.